What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. My name is Splattercat. Very happy to have you here today, as always, as we chill for a little bit. And actually, we are advancing nicely. Things are going really well for us. I think we should be able to go after higher level dungeons without too many problems pretty soon. There's not a lot of upgrades to be taken care of right now. There are little things around. I think that with deeds, we can fiddle around on this side. I would recommend occasionally sinking deeds into the cost reduction furnace for armor smithing and weapon smithing. It gets kind of expensive at the end. And if you've got to upgrade 15 characters, let's say, and from those 15 characters, they've each got to get their level 4 upgrades, which are 5,000 apiece. Knocking this down by 50% can be pretty useful. 2,500 times 15, it'll save you a bunch of cash. We don't have a lot of money right now. That's actually one of our weaknesses. How upgraded is our barrack we have going on right now? We have no Hellions, so we could definitely flesh things out a little bit better. I think I'll probably increase my roster size using those deeds right there. And now that the roster has been made a little bit larger, I'll probably bring on Fitzroy. Not a huge fan of the Arbalest. In all honesty, it's one of those classes I see no reason why I would bring her aside from cleansing marks on fights like Swine Prince. That seems to be like the only place where she's actually that useful. She does stack well with Houndmaster. She does stack well with Bounty Hunter just due to the fact that she uses the mark mechanic that they use. We don't have any Bounty Hunters. I didn't notice that till just now. Huh. Interesting. That will undoubtedly be an issue later on. Let's get Bell from Hell taken care of. Get Bone Man fitted up with the things that I like to. And that's probably all we're going to accomplish for right now on him. I do personally think that the Occultist is by far the superior character versus the Vestal. I think you'll have a lot better luck with leveled up occultists anyways. If you level up an occultist to like level 2, 3, 4, or 5, they become just so much better than Vestals. Vestals have better DPS capabilities, but I've seen occultists just bomb heals on people for like 40 healing on one turn, and it's just incredible when it happens. We're going to go after the Necromancer's Apprentice next. I don't know who we're going to bring in order to accomplish this. I think that the occultist would be perfectly fine. And then in the third line, I think we could really bring just about anybody. It doesn't strike me as a choice that's super hard to make. Glanville would be alright. I think I could... Glanville might be our only option, actually. Glanville might be it for us. Okay, Glanville. Well, you're up. When it comes to some of these things... Hey, I'm clicking on you. How come you're not making things happen? I am not beholden to let you click on me as much as you desire, yes sir. She has a manly voice, by the way. That's a subplot that I hadn't quite explained yet. Don't take your guys into the dungeon without upgrading them, especially for boss fights and stuff. It's just... you gotta take care of that business, otherwise. I'll probably do... blind fire just in case. You never know when you're going to wind up on the front line. People get pulled around in this game a lot, and so I tend to take blind fire just in case. Those aren't really going to help that much. She can take that for right now. What did that do to her dodge? -8. She only has 5 anyways, so why worry about it? Plus 33 to heal skills. That will make her battlefield band-aid, triage ability, whatever, a little bit better. We'll have to take a look at it, though. She doesn't even have it in the first place, but I'll equip them on her nonetheless. Because it seems like a decent idea. Alright, let's go after the Necromancer's Apprentice. This should be a fairly easy run for us, I think. I will probably stock up in the same fashion that I did previously. Probably just keep it nice and light. We're going into the ruins. So we've got the Iron Maidens. We need those for the locked heirloom chests. And then we need holy water for the ashes. I try to tailor the things that I bring in along with what they will interact with. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't, such as life, que sera, and all that.
Mastery over life and death was chief among my early pursuits. I began in humility, but my ambition was limitless. Who could have divined the prophetic import of something as unremarkable as a twitch in the leg of a dead rat?
And we go. He will more than likely be right here. So let's just haul ass. This is actually going to be kind of a slog to get there. And we're already stepping on traps. How much fun is that? Hooray for us and our damaged pedicles. Let's continue walking. Got things to accomplish today, and I probably won't do a full clear of the dungeon. Oh. It's a little unfortunate. Well, the best way to respond would be to start shifting them around. With any luck, she'll actually start fiddling around in a second, and it'll give us a chance to regroup, but what are you going to do? I'll stun her for right now. I'm going to keep using Rampart to shift him to the front. That'll allow her to shift back the whole time. Oh, they've already got her back on the third line. He can actually do stuff from right here, so it's not that big of a loss. Really, you can duelist advance anybody? Huh, cool. Duelist advance right there, then. I underestimated the capabilities of that. I thought it could only hit the front two people, but actually it worked really, really well. Did a pretty fantastic job. I'm going to use Blind Fire. Blind Fire is a random attack that goes to somebody random on the field. We shouldn't need to move her around too much because these guys moving forward and the act thereof should allow her to escape at some point. We've got a highly mobile group. We got a group that's able to move around with no issues and no problems, so we should be all right. I probably should have gone for the grab right there and dragged him up to the front, but what are you going to do? I'm going to fire a shot right here because it's the smarter plan. Otherwise, those two will just jockey for position back and forth while I try to get this solved. So let's go in for a stun right there. Now on the next turn, he'll do duelist advance, and we'll be rearranged the way that we need to be. I'll try and get the occultist healing in just a minute because we are starting to take damage. My hope is that that will get... Oh, good. It got the crossbowman. Perfect. You got to gamble a little bit with that ability. You don't really have much of a choice. 14 heal out right there. Hope for no bleed. Indeed. We ended up with no bleed. That makes me pretty happy. We're going to stab that guy in his super manly pecs because they make me jelly. Pec work's hard to do, man. Pec work is really hard to do. It is a... It's not a rough workout routine. It's just you gotta hit a lot of areas. There's like the upper pec, the inner pec, the outer pec, the lower pec. There's so many, and they all take like very distinct exercises that move around. You gotta do incline flies. You gotta do butterflies, incline push-ups, diamond push-ups. It's just to hit the entire muscle group and not end up with a weird like lopsided bubbly flapjack thing going on. It's a pain in the ass. And like having a weird malformed pec is so much worse than just not having pecs at all. And so unless you got like a trainer, I just be like, whatever, I blow it off. I blow it off. I'm not that interested in having man boobies anyways. Man, we are getting surprised a lot in here. They are really trying to throw us some curveballs in this playthrough. Luckily, that shift did functionally nothing to us. So we should be nice and magical here. Tempting Goblet goes out. We do have to watch out for stress because the fire... Yeah, exactly. That sort of thing is an issue. The final fight, he does use a lot of stress-related attacks, and so we might end up in a little bit of trouble there. For right now, though, I'm going to focus on getting rid of you because, as I said, we're already at reasonably high stress. Well, moderately high. But it's not something... That is a huge bolt. My God, every time she fires that thing, it's like the size of his spine. That thing is gigantic. Can you imagine that thing just, like, ramming into you? God, it would suck. I'm going to drag this asshole to the front. He's not really at the threshold where he needs to heal or anything, so...
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Okay. Another fight to be taken care of. I would prefer not to have to use our rest until after the boss fight. That would mark that things had gone exceedingly well for us. However, there's no way to tell this early on in the run if that's the way that it's going to go. Couple of spiders down, who actually miraculously, we seem to be outspeeding the spiders, which does not happen very often. That's kind of an odd occurrence for us. If you've played the game quite a bit, you know these spiders can be really, really dodgy sometimes. And it can be really, really, really difficult to land a hit on them if you're running like a leper heavy group, where you're running any group that has trouble with accuracy.
Ghoulish horrors.
This one right here, I'll probably band-aid you. The suit of armor, you just use it and it gives you a protective aura. I think there's something that interacts with it too, but I can't remember exactly what. I always just click on it and take the buff until next camp. That would be further inspiring us not to use our camp until we get further into the game. We did bring the proper propitiations for that right there. We've got a move charm. Drop that in. The citrines and the jades are not really that useful though. It's kind of one of those treasures that's kind of the booby treasure, you know. It's kind of the backup treasure, the third place treasure. It's treasure. Like, I'll count it, but I'm not happy about it. Let's start out. Let's handle his shit first, because I am a little bit concerned long term about if he catches one crit with his health like that. It's going to be the sort of thing that we really don't want to deal with this early on. I love his velvet gloves, by the way. How he got him to match up with his bandana, too. I have been looking everywhere for a shearling coat like that. Like, it's become an obsession for me. I want that coat very, very badly, minus the cuffs. You can modernize it a little bit. So I would put a hood on it, and then I would get rid of the cuffs. And then I would have this part draw all the way down to the bottom of the coat, too, since a lot of modern shearlings seem to do that. Fashion advice with Splattercat. But anyways, I've been looking everywhere for a coat like that. They're so expensive, though. I'm beginning to think I might just not get one. Like, I'll just look at them and I'll let the pretty things be pretty, but I won't own them or put them on my body. Plus, it's like 80 degrees here right now. We've got like a freak heat streak going on right now where I live. Just out of nowhere. It was like below freezing. And then the next day, it was 80 degrees, and it's been 80 degrees for about a week now. Every single day. There's been little kids in the swimming pool every single day. It sounds nice, but frankly, we already had our hot season where it was like 115 every single day. And so I was kind of looking forward to like winter and not being hot and being able to wear a jacket all the time, because I do like jackets. Jackets are pretty sweet. I'll go ahead and fire that out. Bola's taken care of. Oh, I didn't realize Bola hit the front two people. That's pretty sweet. It's not a bad ability. We'll drop that right there for the portrait. And then I got the jade on that side. Probably ditch the swordsman's crest. In all honesty, it's just not that useful of an object. We'll use the key to get the hidden compartment out of there. That'll give us access to more bustuses. Okay. Probably ditch that to take the crests, and then the busts. Kind of hard up right now. Kind of hard up. The move charm would probably be more useful than what she has, but I'm just going to bring this stuff. I don't know. We don't have any use for any of these little gray artifacts or anything anymore. They just aren't that useful to us. We're in pretty good shape as far as trinkets go. We've got an overstocking of like greens and oranges, so not going to worry about it too much. That was actually probably one of the more sinister Cthulhu gropings that we've had in this playthrough. Nicely done, dear sir. Nicely done. Dear sir, it has come to my attention that you seem to be quite adept at groping using the powers of darkness. Please let it be known I shall tolerate none such indiscretions among our party, and even so amongst our enemies I feel that your actions may be ungentlemanly. Please act in accordance with the expectations of a gentleman on the battlefield, and all that sort of thing. Sincerely yours, the man-at-arms at the front of the party who you rarely see anything but the backside of. I would like to shoot you. We've got two skeletons at the front. I'll probably just bola the shit out of them then. It seems like bola does work. So does it just randomly move people? Or oh, it does some kind of weird shifty knockback. Hold on. I gotta look at it again the next time. You can't really do a whole lot right here. Yeah, sure. Grope that corpse. Why not? Duelist Advance should buy us a victory right there. We're full up on crests.
Victory, but a victory nonetheless.
I don't know. It's hard for me to allocate for crests just because you have so many of them. I always end up with like thousands of those damn things. At which point I find myself asking like, why am I even bothering to do this in the first place? Because then I don't have any of the associated stuff that you need in order to buy like the little upgrades and whatnot. So then I just feel like an idiot. This fight could actually go pretty poorly if we don't play our cards right. So I'm going to start stunning the front line. I do wish that the game gave you a readout on whose turn came first. Like, it gave you, like, a thing on this side with little tabs. They gave you the list like they have in, like, the Digimon, or a lot of JRPGs have something like that. It would be appreciated. I'm going to focus on the back line for right now because the last thing we need are AoE crits. So if I can get rid of both of them before we advance any further, it'll make our lives a lot easier. He doesn't really have much of an option, so I'll just have him attack the back line. Duelist advance to the weakened one. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to fish out the kill. I think the maximum he does on that is like 8 or 9 as of right now. So what are you going to do? I've been itchy lately. It's been very, very odd. Very, very itchy. I don't bathe like twice a day. I used to take like 5 showers a day. I used to be really, really obsessed with being like clean. Kicked that addiction though. Plus there was a drought, and so that kind of fixed it up. I didn't want to be that guy, and I also didn't want to pay like the ridiculous $12 jillion penalty that you got to pay if you use too much water. You ever find it weird that they don't charge farmers that much? Like, farmers use like exorbitant amounts of water growing like almonds and shit that isn't supposed to grow here. And like they get tax rebates and they don't get in trouble for it, but like you take a shower that's like 1 minute too long and the government charges you exorbitant amounts of money. I feel like I used the word exorbitant too much right there, but you get my point. I really feel like big farming business is really trying to pass off this drought on the little guy like it's our fault, when in fact like 85% of all the water use in our state is agricultural. Ooh, there's a secret door right there. Cool. I like secret doors. Secret doors lead to secret treasures. Secret treasures give me secret pleasure. That's the pleasure that I have after the lights go out when I'm having my me time. That right there. Alright, that'll clear out a spot. That actually could not have happened at a better time. I'm really pleased about it. Secret room. Please don't be doom unless it's the game by id. Oh, I forgot I gotta use a key on that. Son of a bitch. That was stupid. I didn't have a key though, so... Oh man, that was just an all-around failure, wasn't it? I shouldn't have used the key on that, and then I should have used... balls. Balls on my forehead. Story of my life. Alright, well, at least we found a treasure. I mean, could be worse, I guess. I do feel like a giant noob, but... Thus is the way the cookie doth crumble, as ye olden sayings are so fond of shouting.
We require only the strength to follow it.
I think this is probably going to be a pretty low-scoring run for us as far as cash is concerned. On to the Necromancer! He should be really, really easy, like seriously. This is not a hard fight.
Fierce, terrible, nightmare.
Ain't much I can do right there, so I'm just going to hope we don't get a bleed. I would really, really, really like to get him with a point-blank shot before he does that. Ah, one turn too late. One turn too late. Well, fine then. I didn't want to do that badly anyways. He actually seems like he has more HP than I remember. I'm going to try and stay on top of his little summons. He really does not do that much stuff. Like, seriously, he summons, and then he gives you stress. That's pretty much the entire fight. It's more of a stress race than anything else, so... Stay on top of it and you should be perfectly fine. And you're giving everybody the bleeds right now. Sucks. 17 damage for him. Sucks even harder, though. I would dearly love... Ooh, that's not good. I have no AoE capability either, so if he makes more guys come back to life, we're now... Oh, man. I mean, I guess I got something that I can throw at the back line. Like so, if I have to. Actually, I could just pull him up to the front, couldn't I? Yeah, that'll fix it up. 44 crit. There goes that boss. There goes that boss. That'll solve it up real quick. That is the particular panacea. I can never remember how to say that word. I bet it goes both ways. Giggity. And there goes another easy peasy lemon squeezy boss. The only actual first tier boss that I find to be challenging is Swine Prince. Like, seriously. He's the only one that it swings either direction based on randomness in the fight. Like, sometimes Swine Prince just lands like a 28 damage hit on you. And then the next turn he does the exact same thing. And then the next turn he hits for like 12 on 3 people. And it can be very, very difficult to recover from if you can't get lucky with it. That being said, however, Swine Prince still is not altogether that difficult, assuming that the dice don't conspire against you. That's the big part with that fight, is sometimes RNG just gets really out of control. 18 heal's going to put him back up to maximum. And bye-bye, enemies. That's it for you. We got the Bullseye Bandana. That's actually way better than what she's got. We've got the Sly eye patch. He's got the longevity patch, and he's got Dismas's head, so I think I'm going to leave that with him. Not going to bring any of that stuff. We're just going to go back to the Hamlet. I have my doubts in thinking that we're going to be able to score any higher here. I think we've done perfectly fine for our allocated time. We got ourselves a new belt. I didn't even look at the treasure that we got. It's a highwayman's belt. Makes his melee shittier, but makes his ranged better. That one's going to be the one that we want to use for Dizzy D. That's not going to be the one that we want to use on our point-blank shot guy. I can't remember his name. He's not important to the plot like Dismas is. Off we go. We've got a little bit of resolve. Hysterical blindness. Okay. The fits.
In time, you will know the tragic extent.
There's a joke in there somewhere. It's like, what's the difference? How does the joke go? What's the difference between an obsessive-compulsive corn farmer and a hooker with diarrhea? And it says one gets the fits while he shucks. So there you go. I don't think there's too much more for us to accomplish here. That might not be the exact joke. I'm paraphrasing. I'm trying to remember. Merchant network. We could increase. I almost never buy trinkets over here, though. Like, seriously. It's really, really, really rare that I buy trinkets. Actually, we've got enough busts right now to where I think we might be able to go in on a few more upgrades for the Abbey, which is a smart idea because we actually have a lot of stress stacked up, so I could go there, and I could go Penance Hall, like so. That'll get it up to 55% upgraded. The Mallet definitely needs to spend some time in there. Valane's going to need some diseases cured. Bell from Hell is also going to need that thing. And then inside the medical ward, we've actually got 2 slots, so that'll help out quite a bit. So we'll go with the fits. And who was our other person? Ah, yes. Good old Ros. Creeping Cough's got to go first. If we don't get a Creeping Cough, it's going to be trouble for her as a character. My name is Splattercat. This is the next episode of Darkest Dungeon. I'll see you all in future episodes. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you there.